Trump is threatening a draft. Israel runs our country. He is going to war with Iran to cover up that he is still in the files. Now, I know what you're all going to say. Don't believe it, don't whatever. It's fine. Believe what you want. But we as a country need to do something. All parents, all mothers, all fathers, your government is coming to politely steal your children and send them to their deaths in a war over ego. I am so deeply saddened by what our country is going through, what our country has come to. I have been working on a book for 8 years on what we need to do. We need to have community, and we need to have accountability. The golden rule. Do unto others what oneself would want done to them. So what that means is hold yourself accountable for what you do and what you have done, and hold others accountable for what they have done. This also means community. What government does and what government did is destroy community. It's been doing it for generations. What we used to have and what needs to be done is it wasn't just the parents that were supposed to raise their child by themselves. It was supposed to be the community that raised the children. That means the whole town made sure that the children behaved, and the children made sure that they behaved. That's accountability. That is something that we don't have right now. What's happening with the federal government, and not all governments around the world, but a lot of them, is the ones that are in files, mainly US, and the ones that are currently running and holding power, taking control over this entire country, are PDF files. They're snakes, they're tyrants, and they want age verification for everything online. They want age verification so they can know who the children are, so they can come and snatch them up and take them away to like another Epstein Island, another place where they're going to sacrifice them, where they're going to abuse them, where they're going to hurt them. They're not only going to do this to children, they're going to do this to adults, they're going to do this to just teenagers, they're going to do this to everyone. When the draft starts, what we need to do hush on one part. We need to put our foot down and tell them we are not sending our children to a war of greed and ego. We are not sending our children to death, because that is what will happen. And worse comes to worse, we have to use our constitutional rights. We all know what that right is. I'm not going to say it. I want it to be peaceful. It can be. I lived in a grain elevator for just a month to my test that I was writing in my book. I spent 100 hours cleaning that 75-year-old abandoned building of 100 years of age. It took me 10 hours just to sweep a path from the spot where me and my dog were staying in, all the way down the 8 flights of stairs, and out the building, out to the sidewalk. I did that on the first day. I didn't clean the whole building. That would have taken me months. And it was exhausting. I didn't have days where I was giving tours, guiding people around, making sure that drunk people weren't stepping into holes, or making sure groups of people that started getting upset at each other didn't start pulling weapons on each other. Everyone that came in that building was armed. Everyone. People were drunk, people were high. The most people I had to deal with at one time was 50 people. There was over 300 people in a 14-day setting. There was easily over 1,000 in a month. What I did is I showed and I proved my theories. They're no longer theories. They're tried and tested. A month worth of testing, 14 days worth of notes. Right here. These are all the days, 14 days straight, calculations. Yeah, I have some money calculations down there. I want to purchase the property. But there's one story I'm going to tell you. There was a person that got hurt. A person that didn't die, but very much could have. He fell a full story in that building, and that is over 20 feet in those buildings. And he survived because he fell on a door and door frame that was angled about like that. And you can see the dent on it. I'll put actually just go through my TikTok. It's one of my first couple of videos. But he fell down there, and because he landed on that, it stood him up, and he survived the fall. He got a pretty nasty gash on his forehead. He got a scrape on his shin. Probably got a lot of bruising. I know he needed stitches, but things are dangerous. But we made sure that he was safe. We got him out safely. He went and got taken care of. But the thing is, shit happens. They had the group of people that were there. They were friends of each other. I didn't know them. This was my first time meeting them. Because it was abandoned, we had to not go outside because there was an officer. They were trying to figure out who was inside. So we came back inside. This is when he ended up getting injured. I went out over top of the silos to go see where the officer was, and then I heard a loud bang. I assumed he tripped on something, but as I got back, the whole group was freaking out and said that he fell. He's excruciatingly lucky that he survived. This has been Dr. Insanity. Be safe, be sane. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm as crazy as a fiddle, as loony as a toonie, and as real as Jim Carrey's stunt double that he sent over to, was it London or Paris? That everyone knows the video I'm talking about. But be safe, be sane, everyone. Have a good day.